What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Ball Smarter on the Move, and today I'm installing this upgraded IE fuel pump on my B8 Audi S4. And the main reason I'm doing this is because I'm having issues with my startup. So I'm showing a little clip right here. So if you heard that clip, it took a couple of seconds to actually get the car turned over, and it could be the starter, but it could also be the fuel pump. So as of right now, I think the high pressure fuel pump is pretty much failing on me. Wish I had some data log or data logging tool to really see what's going on, but I think this will definitely fix the issue. And since it's upgraded, I go dual pulley. I can actually run the dual pulley high pressure fuel pump upgrade tune, which add a little bit more horsepower and make the car just run much better. All right, so I'll try to get the whole install done before the sun goes down so you guys actually see what's going on here. But I'm gonna take off the intake first, and if you don't have a hair intake like this, you're gonna have to spend a couple of minutes taking apart your whole system, but it's not that hard. There's a couple of bolts here, a couple of screws here, and just the whole thing pops out. But you gotta clear that out first. Unclip it from there. All right, but to remove this part here, it's just T30s all the way across, and this will lift up the little trim piece here. This lifts up and slides out to the side, and then we have two more T30s on either side of this little intake screw right here. So one here, and then one more on this side. And these are actually T25s, not T30s. And we'll just lift this straight up and out. All right, next up is this shield right here. These are two 10mm nuts. So 1, 2, take those off really quick. Tight. And this whole guard just slides on out just like that. All right, so next up, we're going to unscrew this T30 right here. This holds down the fuel line. And yep, T30. I'm gonna set this bolt to the side. All right, so next up, we're gonna need a 14mm and a 17mm wrench to remove the fuel line here. So the 14 goes at the bolt below it. The 17 goes on top, and that way you can counterhold, because if you don't counterhold the bolt at the bottom, you'll actually bend in this fuel line. You do not want that to break. So 14 and 17 to prevent that. Also, when you loosen up those bolts, make sure you have a towel around, because it's gonna spray fuel everywhere, and probably some glasses on as well. This here, or yeah, this way. There we go. Now I can break it loose, and then watch for the fuel spray. There we go. I heard it depressurize. You see this hose right here also lost pressure, and I can see the gas everywhere. All right, so the fuel line bolt is kind of up and out the way, and this kind of just lifts up just like that. Next up is this hose right here. We just need some clamps, squeeze, and pull off. All right, so I was not recording when I did this, but let me show you what I did. So here's the fuel line right here. It was sitting on top of that part right there. I just took some vice grips really quickly. There's a clamp on that line. Grip those closed, push it up, and just wiggle the whole thing off. It comes off super easy. And there is a bunch of fuel in this line. It's not pressurized, but just lift it up and then kind of tuck it under these wires so it doesn't spill out anymore. Next thing up is these connections, as well as two, I think T30 bolts maybe. All right, so this screw is actually a triple square. So this is a M8, and I'll link all the tools I use in the description below, so you don't have to worry about that. There's also one more tucked way below there. And I believe with the extension, I should be able to get down there and reach it. All right, so I'm going for the lower one first. So way down in here. There we go. So it's in there now. I'll break it loose. All right, cool. Yeah, so the extension of the M8 works perfectly fine. No issues at all. And it is spring loaded. Yeah, I think some more fuel might actually spray out here. This out. There goes the first one right there. And we'll do the second one right here. And this is spring loaded, so be careful when you take it out. And what you have to do is, once this bolt comes out, we can lift that fuel rail up, and we can worry about these sensors. This one is under much tighter. And I really should have bought some new bolts for this as well. These are pretty old bolts. All right, let's try it out. Make sure you kind of push on it, because it is spring loaded, like I said. You can see it backing on out right there. See if I can do it by hand. Go. And probably lift this up a bit more so it doesn't get caught up. There we go, get that out the way first. Just keep backing this out. It's really pushing up against me. And let's remove this. And I'm just gonna set it down right there for a quick second. All right, so next up we have the actual connection points. And those are just down here at the bottom. And it's one tab right here. This one seems like it'll just pull up and then come on out. So yeah, it's one of those. So take the screwdriver here. I'm gonna push the tab up. You'll hear a little pop when it comes up, I think. There we go. See, it just popped up, and you just push it this way, right? And wiggle it on off. And the new pump has this sensor on there already, so don't have to worry about it. And then the last one here is a bit different. So we're gonna take the screwdriver or the flathead, try to come down here, lift up a little bit, and then this should be able to just push on off. There we go. So you heard that little pop and it slides on off. Now the whole fuel pump is removed. All right, so next up, we're gonna take off a couple of things real quick, but let's compare our two fuel pumps here. As I said before, the first fuel sensor is already on there and aligned properly. So it's gonna sit just like that. What we need are connection points right here. So 1, 2, and then this giant one here on the back. This one is already came with the unit. So we'll leave this one off, or leave this one on rather. So for this one, we take a 14 millimeter and get this bad boy off of here. And might be a bit of fuel in there as well. All right, so these are a pain to get off, but I took the 14 wrench and I used a mallet, give it a good whack, and it'll start spinning because those are on insanely tight. Whew, that should not be that hard, man, golly. So those two are out, set those to the side. And then last thing up is this giant sensor here. I'm gonna see what fits on top of there. Had to pull out the adjustable wrench for this one. That one was much easier to take off. And all we gotta do now is just swap these all over to the new pump. All right, so I have the new pump right here. Should be a bigger piston in there. And all we're gonna do is reinstall so we can take all of these little seals off here. And the big sensor goes right over here. There's a small little gasket on there as well. That's good. That will slide into there. So yeah, this one goes the most forward. So right here, we'll get that on there. And then this one goes the most rear facing. So just like this. And then we'll get all these torqued down and we'll throw this back onto the car. See how it works. All right, so before putting the pump back onto the car, I actually went ahead and put the harnesses on first, the big gray one and then the smaller black one. And I had mentioned this before, but the pump is spring loaded. So what I did here was I put both of the screws in first, got them about hand tight, and I went ahead and used the wrench to push the pump down. So I'm not pushing the pump, just let the screws push the pump down. You can actually help it or guide it into its connection point or its resting point. But all you're doing here is just using the screws, tightening them down, and as you tighten the screws, the pump will go down as well. And make sure you don't torque one side all the way down, just alternate sides so that it sits down evenly. And do this until it is completely flush and then torque it down to about 9 Newton meters. Alright, so what I did here is now that the pump is actually back onto the car, I went ahead and torqued down those adapters or connection points that I put on the new fuel pump. I didn't have a chance to torque these down because I didn't have any leverage. If you have a table clamp, I would utilize that and then make sure those are torqued down properly. But if you don't have a table clamp, just go ahead and put it on the car first and then torque those connection points down. Those are both 14 millimeters. Then I went ahead and with the 14 and the 17, I tightened down the fuel rail line here. All right, we'll slide this on right here. Should go on nice and easy. There we go, release the hose clamp. All right, so when I lock and unlock the car, it should prime the fuel pump so we can see if it sprays fuel from anywhere. So let's go ahead and... All right, so what I'm gonna do here is actually prime the fuel pump. So we're gonna put this key in, turn on the ignition, and do that about 3 or 4 times. And I have the intake off right now so that I can see if it sprays fuel at this current point in time. So let's go on. And let's fire. All right, so yeah, the fuel pump worked out great. It was like, what, a 20-minute installation. Just had trouble getting the two adapters loose on the old high pressure fuel pump, but everything worked out smooth. It drives a lot better now, and I'm gonna show you a clip of the cold start that I'm gonna do tomorrow morning, and you can see if it starts up faster or slower. I won't know until tomorrow. All right, so yeah, the pump did not fix the elongated start issue, but I just feel like the car is not priming itself properly. I never hear the fuel pump actually prime when I put the key in or when I unlock it, so maybe that's the issue. So yeah, in total, the upgraded IE fuel pump is like $1,200, and labored myself, so it's free, right? But the reason why I got the upgraded fuel pump is I want to go dual pulley on the S4. So instead of buying a regular fuel pump for like $700 and buying the upgraded pistons from the old 34 is like another $400, I just say, you know, I'm just gonna buy the whole fuel pump, install it, and then save a bunch of time. So it was just like way easier. If you guys have any questions about the pump or the car, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll link all the parts and tools in the description below. And if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Other than that, thanks for watching.